family. Yeah, this NIT is a township. So here, we live like a family along with our students. As a suggestion, be focused on your work. Planning is very important. मैंने इसी पर्सनल लाइफ में मैंने आई डोंट नो मेरी वाइफ भी कई बार मुझसे बोलती थी कि आप तो पढ़ते ही रहते हो. When you go to class, when you have to face the students, you should always be prepared. You have to prepare what you have to teach in the class. Our primary job is to teach for teachers. Choice of good books, preparation, because we are into teaching of the professional courses, which directly, lead to the dissemination of knowledge among our students, whereby they can gain something and later on, in their later life, if they go to corporate sector, if they go to, manufacturing sector, or if they go to some different, say, the educational sector, they have to implement that. As a teacher, the students should have confidence on you. The students will not be in a position to gain anything from you until or unless he has a trust in you. That's very important. So a trust has to be created. For that, you have to be a role model for the students. That's very important. So for that, the students will accept you if they find that this person really knows something about the subject. Teaching methodology. This I'm saying, this I'm not talking about the administrative officers. This is specifically for the teachers. Your delivery, your teaching methods should be such that the student should be able to understand whatever you want to convey. How complex it is, because as a civil engineer, as electrical engineer and mechanical engineer, we deal with a lot of mathematics. We have a lot of mathematics in our subjects. If you simply present something on PPT, probably the students will not have confidence in you. If they think that you actually know, you should be in a position to write in on the board and explain it. That's very important. And then you have to relate that to the practical applications. Until or unless you should, if you are not able to relate your teaching with some practical devices or something directly, the students will not learn much. Another thing which I told you, it should be always a project-based learning. You have to have a kind of division which I experimented, and it was very successful. Let me tell you, mechanical engineering students, they used to write 3,000, 4,000 lines code. And they used to create wonderful, like softwares and all that, which were directly usable by anyone for designing or for simulation of anything. So that much confidence you have to build in your students that you are capable, you can do it. And then they will do it. All should be ready to help them. Because I understand, as a teacher, we are not perfect in it. After all, we have also studied something, we also prepare. And now, because of so many knowledge channels, Wikipedia and all that, so many things are available. So sometimes the students will also recheck what you teach them. And this generation, let me tell you, they are very clever. They know what is correct and what is incorrect. They will immediately point out. So be confident, have correct information, pass on correct information, try to give them knowledge, try to give them something additional to what they can get from all these resources. That is your contribution. That's how you can teach them. That's very important. Be focused on your work, plan your work. That's very important. Lesson planning is very important, whether we are, as an administrator, when we go to our office, if you know that what all things are our priority today. Like he used to, मुबशी साहब ने बोला कि मैं रोज शाम को इनको मैसेज करता था. Because you see, my performance will be judged by how better I can spend the money which is provided by the ministry. How usefully I can spend that money. Spending money doesn't mean that I purchase something and then create heaps of that. That's not the fruitful spending. The fruitful spending is where the students and all the stakeholders, they can be directly benefited. What is required by the institution? What is required by a department to grow? For that, you have to plan. Sometimes it happens, the ministry doesn't give you grants in time, but then still we have to have advanced planning. That is what, and I think we were lucky enough this time also, we could spend almost the entire amount whatever was given to us, and we could purchase really something good for the departments, for the administration, and for the other things. That this does not come only. This is not done only by the director. This is done by a team from the departments, team from the administration. Approvals have to be fast. Purchases have to be as per rules through GEM or whatever board we adopt. Quality is very important. Whether the quality of delivery, whether the delivery lecture, what quality of that. This is what proper selection of the books, proper selection of the material. That's very important. You should know what you are going, what you are purchasing. You should go to every detail about that. What are different options available? What is the best option for us? Don't go for very high-end things. If we don't need accuracy in nanos, don't go for that. We can compromise on accuracy. If we can reduce the cost, that's always good. Plan your work and your the social life. Of course, I'm not the right person to talk about that. You should plan your work, time, your social life, and your other priorities, because life is very important. It's not only about working in the institution. Whenever you are in work, you are in institution, work with full zeal. We should learn from the Western country people where they work only for 5 days, but they work like anything. Then Friday evening they are off. They will not receive even your mails, your calls. They enjoy it to that extent. Of course, in India, it is a little different, perspective. We work on Saturdays, and of course, my team, I remember when it is 31st March, means from February itself, we start working on all weekends, Saturdays, Sundays also. But that sometimes it is a compulsion. If everything goes well, if funds are received in time, if planning is okay, then we don't need to tax ourselves that much. So we should try to avoid that as far as possible. But if it's a compulsion, then nothing can be done. After all, and another thing is, system is about your individual interest. That's very important. You have to keep system first and then yourself. It's very good to aspire to. It's very good to it's a progress. Everybody has got a right to progress, but not at the cost of the system. System is first. I have seen in my life, you work for the system, you will get everything automatically. Nothing can stop you. You have to work for the system, you have to work for your own individual progress. You should have a good CV also, that also you have to build, because now we have credit points. During our times, even when I became professor, there was nothing like the credit points. But still the work was valued. How much you work on the administrative assignments, or how much you work for the for teaching. Now these teachers normally have a misconception that teaching is not being valued. Please never think like that. Don't only work for your research papers or patents or only those things where you get the credit points. Don't work only for those. Teaching is very important. Establish yourself as a good teacher. Then guiding will come. So these are some of my suggestions to my colleagues. You are all my colleagues, and we are a family. Whether I am here or I am there, we will remain connected. You can approach me anytime for anything, and be assured that we are there for each other. This is what I also expect from you. Thank you. Thank
थी बट एक तो एक्सपीरियंस बताना चाहूँगा जब व्हेन आई गॉट सिलेक्टेड फॉर हेयर मेरे घर में इतनी लड़ाई हुई कि मतलब आई कांट टेल यू मतलब वो लड़ाई कम से कम आई थिंक एक हफ्ता तो चली मेरी जो ग्रैंड मदर थी वो मेरी वाइफ को बोलती कि इसका दिमाग खराब है गवर्नमेंट जॉब कर रहा है ये 7 साल से कौन अपनी जगह को छोड़ के जाता है तो आई वॉज लाइक कि अब मैं क्या करूँ मतलब थी भी गवर्नमेंट जॉब में और मेरी वाइफ थे भी मतलब एक डिस्टेंस पे थे तो मुझे लगा कि क्या करना अब सपना तो है ही फिर मुझे लगा कि मैं अपने पापा को बोलता था कि नहीं पापा हमारे जो डायरेक्टर है ना वो भी गए हैं यहाँ से तो मैं भी जाऊँगा कुछ नहीं मेरे फादर बोलते कुछ भी है बट एक चीज याद रखना जिंदगी की कि ये तेरी जिंदगी की सबसे बड़ी गलती है और मेरी ग्रैंड मदर ने मेरी वाइफ को बोला कि तुझे अक्ल नहीं है क्योंकि माई ग्रैंड मदर इज नॉट एजुकेटेड बेसिकली बट मेरी वाइफ शी अंडरस्टूड कि मुझे क्या करना है क्योंकि मैं आता था मेरा बच्चा होता था वो साथ में बैठा होता तो मैं अपनी वाइफ को बोलता था कि नहीं यार कुछ पढ़ना है तो वो बोलती थी शी अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग शी इज वेरी गुड वाइफ तो क्या हुआ मेरी ग्रैंड मदर क्या बोलती थी मेरी वाइफ को तू इसको ये बोल कि तू उसको ना तलाक दे देगी और लिटरली मेरी वाइफ मतलब और मेरी मम्मी ने खुद मतलब मेरी वाइफ को इतना तंग किया कि इसको कैसे दिलोगे अच्छा मतलब इसको मत जाने दे क्योंकि तुम दोनों सेटल हो सकता है इसकी अभी अकल ठीक नहीं है बट 1-2 साल बाद इसको अकल आएगी तो मैं दोबारा से सोच रहा था कि अब क्या करूं फिर मेरी अम्मा ने क्या किया बोला कि मैं मरने जा रही हूँ मैंने बोला अम्मा अगर मरने जाना है तो सब कुछ हॉस्पिटल वालों ने करना है मैं तो वैसे भी कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूँ मैं तो दूसरा डॉक्टर हूँ है ना तो फिर बड़ा मुश्किल था मेरे लिए यहाँ पे आना बट रियली सर ये मतलब एक डिसीजन मैंने आपको देख के लिया था कि मतलब अगर वो जा सकते हैं वहाँ पे तो मैं भी जाऊँगा लेट्स सी क्या होता है ये रिस्क मैंने लिया था अब ये गलत भी होगा तो क्रेडिट गोस टू यू सो अनदर डिस्कशन में क्या हो रहा था कि जो एक चीज बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट और सीरियस है व्हेन आई जॉइन हियर यहाँ पे कश्मीर के लोगों का जो एक पर्सनैलिटी रहता है हमारे उधर तो वो थोड़ा एक अलग माना जाता है इस रीजन को बिकॉज इट इज अ चैलेंजिंग रीजन अब क्या हुआ कि जैसे मैं बोलता हूँ कि नहीं यार ऐसा नहीं है न्यूज़ में दिखाते हैं ऐसा वैसा है तो ठीक है मतलब ऐसा नहीं है यहाँ पे लोग बहुत अच्छे हैं और मतलब वेरी गुड तो अब ऐसा हो गया कि लोगों को एक एक्सेसिबिलिटी मिलती है और एक पर्सपेक्टिव यहाँ के लोगों के लिए चेंज हुआ एंड दैट इज because he also recruited people from outside and outside people also chosen to be remain here और ये मुझे बहुत अच्छी बात लगी कि जो मतलब बहुत सारी चीजें नहीं कर पाती हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं लोग कर रहे हैं दिस इज एंड सर क्रेडिट गोज टू यू डेफिनेटली इस चीज के लिए तो ये मुझे एक तारीफ तो हमने बहुत कर ली है लेकिन दिस इज अ वेरी डीप थॉट मतलब जो आज एक लोगों का एक नजरिया चेंज होता है दैट इज वेरी मतलब वेरी गुड फॉर मी एक चीज मैं आईआईटी रोपड़ गया था मैं पोस्ट डॉक कर रहा था यहाँ पे तो मैंने कुछ बोला था आपको कल भी जो कमेंट्स थे वो करने थे तो 1-2 दिन रहे थे एक्सपेरिमेंट वहीं होना था तो मैंने बोला सर ऐसी बात है तो शफी मीर सर ने बोला कि तुम चले जाओ और डॉक्टर वानी और डॉक्टर विजय सर कहाँ हैं हाँ ये लोग मेरे साथ हैं तो क्या हुआ डॉक्टर वानी और डॉक्टर डायरेक्टर सर का तो रूम इस साइड को था मेरा और विजय सर का रूम इस साइड को था ये लोग तो सोने चले गए वानी सर और सर डायरेक्टर सर और मैं और विजय सर पता नहीं कोई याद है कि नहीं है बट हम 1-2 बजे तक बस हम सर की बातें ही करते रहे कि कैसे मैनेज करते हैं ये कैसे होता है अभी मैं जयपुर गया था अभी छुट्टियों में तो वहाँ जयपुर में सर मतलब ये कहना गलत नहीं कि मतलब ये मैं खुद भी परेशान हूँ, आपको देख के ऐसा लगता है कि मतलब हम क्यों जी रहे हैं, मतलब हमें तो कुछ भी नहीं है मतलब कंपैरेटिव। तो जयपुर में क्या हुआ कि मैं वहाँ पे पार्क में बैठा था अपनी वाइफ के साथ, तो हम NIT जयपुर में रुके थे। तो वहाँ पे सर की बहुत तारीफ की लोगों ने, फैकल्टी ने, व्हेन दे कम टू नो कि वी आर आल्सो फैकल्टी लाइक दैट। तो मैं कुछ कमेंट्स को रिप्लाई कर रहा था, तो मेरी वाइफ बोलती कि ऐसा है, कुछ करना चाहे नहीं करना बट आदमी उसी की तरह बनना। तो मतलब आपके कारण मैंने एक छोटा सा किस्सा में एक और शेयर, कोई मैं हमेशा यही बात कर रहा था जब रिजल्ट मिला। तो मुझे क्या लगता है सर कि एक आदमी होता है जिसको एक काम दिया जाए वो 5 साल में कर लेता है, दूसरा आदमी उसको 10 साल में क्योंकि मुझे यही समझ आया, ठीक है। और मुझे लगता है सर सभी को जिनका वेट हुआ, आई एम नॉट क्रिटिसाइजिंग एनीवन, बट मुझे लगता है दे रिक्वायर टाइम टू अचीव दैट, टू डू दिस अकम्प्लिशमेंट। तो दिस इज वेरी गुड। एक चीज अभी प्रोग्राम जब मुझे स्टार्ट कराना था तो एक चीज और बता दूं, प्रोफेसर हमको सारे जगह तारीफ करते हैं, एक स्वीपर है यहाँ पे सर जो गेस्ट हाउस में अभी अभी हमने रखा है, नीचे आपका सिर्फ बैनर लगा है स्टार्टिंग में जब हम एंटर होते हैं। तो मैं थोड़ा टेंस था प्रोग्राम से पहले, क्योंकि मुझे लगा कि हो जाए, क्योंकि मैं बुखारी सर से थोड़ा जिद भी कर रहा था पहले भी कि मुझे प्रोग्राम यही करना है। और मैं वाणी सर का मेरे काफी दिमाग खाया, क्योंकि मुझे ये था कि सर ने गेस्ट हाउस बनाया है एंड फर्स्ट पार्टी सर की यहीं से ही होगी, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, है ना। मतलब तो मैंने सर से भी मतलब बहुत वो किया डिस्कशन की सर करना है करना है करना है। तो आज मुझे तो बहुत शांति मिलती है कि वो हो गया। और दूसरी बात जो स्वीपर है सर उसने ये बोला, आपका बैनर नीचे रखा था, बोलता कि सर, मैंने बोला हाँ जी, बोलते इसको देखो, मैंने बोला हाँ जी, बोलो रोज देखते हैं हम, तो मैंने बोला ये तो, बोलते मैं कब से इस NIT में हूँ लेकिन इसकी तरह डायरेक्टर, मतलब मैं इनकी तरह नहीं बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि दिस इज व्हाट ही हैज सेड कि इनकी तरह जो डायरेक्टर है मैंने आज तक नहीं देखा। रेस करना मतलब मेरे पास तो देखो, आई हैव ऑलरेडी एक्सप्रेस्ड माय सेल्फ यस्टरडे आल्सो। मतलब मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि देखो आपने जब मैं आपको जानता था 1-2 साल पहले से, जब से हमारी मतलब कॉन्वर्सेशन शुरू हुई है या मैं जानता हूँ एज अ गाइड आपको, आपने सर हिमाचल में जब मैं आपको नहीं भी जानता था, तो जो इन्होंने एक कॉलेज एस्टेब्लिश किया है, आई डोंट नो आप लोगों को पता है कि नहीं, वो कॉलेज क्या था, खड्ड के किनारे था, खड्ड थी वहाँ पे, और वहां पे बोलते थे कि यहाँ कॉलेज नहीं बनेगा। दिस इज द एक्चुअली स्टेटमेंट गिवन बाय द मिनिस्टर्स, ठीक है। और इन्होंने वहां पे 2 कॉलेज एस्टेब्लिश किए, आर्किटेक्चर का भी और इंजीनियरिंग का भी। 2 में बता दूं सर, आपके जो फेलो कलीग्स थे उनका भी मैसेज आपको, डॉक्टर निशान और रोहित का भी है, दे हैव आल्सो गिवन बेस्ट विशेस फॉर यू। JNGC से भी आपको मैसेज आया, सुरभि का, तो क्योंकि जब आपकी और मैडम की काफी क्रिटिक्स पर वायरल हुई है, तो जो फेयरवेल की, तो दे आल्सो सीन दैट और दे हैव मैसेज टू मी। वाणी सर का मैं बहुत शुक्रिया अदा हूँ, वो इसीलिए क्योंकि जब मैंने यहाँ ज्वाइन किया तो मैं यहाँ लासापट में रहने लग गया। लासापट में क्या हुआ कि वहाँ पे पटाखे लगने लगे, मुझे लगा वो नहीं लगे। मैं रात में नहीं सोया, 2 दिन में वाणी सर के रूम में सोया हूँ, वो मैंने किसी को नहीं बताया था, बट ही हैज गिवन मी की। तो थैंक यू सो मच। रजिस्ट्रार साहब, आपकी फैमिली आई है, मैं मैम आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ, ही इज द वन ऑफ द परफेक्ट मैन। ये एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में इस तरीके से हम लोगों को संभालते हैं जैसे एक अपने बच्चे को संभालते हैं, और कभी भी ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि इनके पास आप जाओ और ही हैज नो सॉल्यूशन, ही ऑलवेज पुश मी इन द फॉरवर्ड डायरेक्शन, और हमेशा इन्होंने मतलब जितना इनसे हो पाता था ये करते हैं, मतलब मोर देन। और कहीं ना कहीं ये मुझे जोड़ी लगती थी सर और सर की। आई फील लाइक दिस इज द बेस्ट कॉम्बिनेशन फॉर द वर्किंग एज अ डायरेक्टर एंड रजिस्ट्रार, दिस इज माय ओपिनियन। तो मैं लास्ट में रुबीना मैम से, डॉक्टर रुबीना मैम से, रजिस्ट्रार सर की वाइफ हैं, उनसे चाहूंगा कि वो 2 शब्द यहाँ पे बोले।
बोलने को तो कुछ नहीं रहा, सबने बोल दिया, लेकिन मैं 3 सवालों की जवाब। One question was asked by Jenny, how do you plan? An idiot with a plan can lead a genius without a plan. So planning is always done by boss, harmony to me, And in the line I forward to and we all are prepared for war every time. But the source of inspiration is always our boss. We go, we sit together, we discuss, and give a solution. And as you said, that multitasking. Second question was asked by Dr. Nitika. कि सर ने बोला मैं भी सीख रहा हूँ. Yes, you are right, and I said it, and I am saying it again. That every time I learn, what I learned from sir, to remain cool. Don't react, but act. But act with activity, so that all the people who are criticizing you will shut their mouths. Number third, Dr. Dinesh asked one question. What was your question?
How we are becoming so cool and how we manage?
He repeated question. I was already doing it because we treat you as our family, as our children. If your son will fiddle with things in your house, will beat him? No. Dr. Dinesh, you are as good as my son. So that is why we are cool. So you learn these things with age. So once you cross 50, then the different era starts. So you will not be fast or super fast. Okay? So these were three answers which were giving me some, we call it as bekarari, the So on this stage, I would like to thank my wife because I have been always the chief of the army staff of Professor Rakesh Sehgal. So every time whenever there is any kind of bad situation, so I am called. I remember one incident. Sir left. I was the last man to leave from the administrative this building. I reached my home near gate. I received a call from sir. There was some incident. And indiscipline was in some hostel area. Chief warden, everyone, in students' welfare. There were some 15 people taking kava in sir's home. We were not able to solve this problem. So I went there. What is the issue? Issue was some, I will not discuss it here. But in the meantime, I got up and sir told me, where are you going? I give you 1 minute. I called SHO. I asked him, this is the type of indiscipline. What kind of sections you will impose if FIR is lodged? And he gave me sections as per IBC. Then I came back. I called that student's bad guy. I told him that if FIR is lodged, you will not get your passport. This is the imprisonment. These are the repercussions which you will receive. And he came to knees. So I said, so event was over. But 15 people, procurement staff was taking care of it, doing nothing. So that is why I am chief of the army staff. I did these things under the guidance and leadership of Professor Syed. But at the same time, my home, my kids were being managed by my wife. From 2019, I have not purchased a single grocery item for my home. It's all my wife. I don't know. One day she asked me, I was before sir sitting there, she asked me, rice land. I asked her, what's rice? She said, India Gate. So I was not knowing, sir said to me, why don't you try Sarveshwar? So I went on the way, I brought that Sarveshwar for a try, 5 kg. Madam said, you have brought something else. I said, this is the recommendation of sir. So this is the only thing since 2019, January 2019, when I joined as a registrar. I have purchased that 5 kg bag of rice. The rest, I don't know who manages my home, who manages my kids, fees, everything is managed by my wife. So hats off to her. One more instance. So I was at Delhi airport T3 coming back to Srinagar. I received a message from sir, you meet me in my office. I had seen a message in that group that there is a meeting scheduled in the forenoon, which is being chaired by the sir. I didn't say him I am at Delhi. I said there is a meeting scheduled in forenoon, which is being chaired by your good self. So I'll come in the afternoon. Sir wrote me, okay. So I came to sir's office at 3. There was a question that you are holding 2 charges. I was heading the sports department also, and I was dean alone. Which one will you lead? Obviously, I said that I have been head of sports department for so long, so I'll leave that. So he suggested me to whom you will suggest to give it. So what were my suggestions, and he did it, and okay, you can leave. I left, and at 4:30 I was called again. I said, अब क्या हो गया? What happened? Charge तो मेरे पास था, and I have already given it. So what happened now? So at 4:30 he called me and he said that I'll give you one assignment that can you handle it? I was not knowing what kind of assignment. I said, sir, what? He said, the charge of registrar. Can you handle it? At that time, Bipin Rao was chief of the army staff. I said, remove him, put me there, I can run that one. I have that capacity, but it is up to you. If you repose faith in me, I am ready to serve. Okay, these were the things we discussed. At 6:30 I was called again, and an order was given in my hand, and I joined as a registrar. Since then, we have been working in tandem. His birth year and my elder brother's birth year is same year. It's 63. So from day one, I said to sir that there will not be any kind of deception from my side. Take it a word from me. Let it be if this head goes, but there will not be any kind of deception. But whatever we do, we'll discussion. One to one. And I consider you as my elder brother because my elder brother's birth year is same. You are my elder brother, treat me as your younger brother. So we worked in tandem. We tried to bring this institute of national importance to national importance. So it was not the perception of institute was very bad. So the great thing what sir did is the change of perception. He changed the perception of the institute. If you right now you make any kind of Google search, the name of the institute is with fame.
Yes.
Earlier, if you search this NIT Srinagar, it was famous for many fights and there are students, Nitika is here. Pankaj is our alumni, and this that training teacher, what's your name? Ved Prakash. He's the student of this institute, BTech students. They know all well. So what we tried, within the given parameters, given funding, whatever was available, we did it. We tried to utilize in a better way to give the better status for this institution. Ultimately, it is for students, it's alma mater, and for the faculty and the staff, this is your rosy. You earn from here.
Yes, sir.
You earn from here. So first and foremost thing in your mind, it should be system. Then yourself. System means organization. Organization means NIT Srinagar. NIT Srinagar means that it is at 66th rank NIR. We should bring it to 6 or 1. This should be there. So definitely, मुझे तो बड़ा दुख है. We work in tandem. Whatever problem, whatever issue, we discussed it, and Wani Sahab is our goal. Both of us. Whenever we have a problem, if we are not arriving to a conclusion, to a decision, definitely Wani sir will be called by sir because they are from the same faculty, department of mechanical engineering. He is always there, he is supportive, he is kind. मेरे लिए तो पर्सनल लॉस है फॉर मी sir is departing, it is personal loss to me, but at the same time he has left the imprints in the institution which are guiding for me, for you, for all other people, so we can take it forward. मैंने सर को पूछा ये ठीक नहीं हुआ because I think that they have not recognized the work, but आपको पता है सर ने क्या जवाब दे दिया? बोला बुखारी साहब एक दिन दुनिया से भी जाना, एक दिन दुनिया से भी जाना है, सो कुर्सी का मोह नहीं होना चाहिए. फंडामेंटल जो इनका स्टेटमेंट है, it is like with me, whenever I join any kind of additional assignment, I type 2 letters. One is joining, one is resignation. Both I keep in my pocket. Once हमें लगा कि नहीं मेरे बस का नहीं है या मुझे फिट नहीं बैठ रहा है, I will do my resignation. Simply, else I will do and I will make people to do work. So हमारा वो रिश्ता था. मेरे लिए personally it is a loss, but this is the norm. We cannot change it. It is beyond our control. So there are people who might have thought it differently. हमारा तो एक perception है, उनका maybe दूसरा perception है, but it is not done. हमें तो ये देखना है कि what we have completed, we must appreciate it, we must take it forward. Again, sir is a phone call away for all. अगर आपको डायरेक्टली फोन नहीं हो तो मेरे पास आए, मैं कॉल करता हूँ, जरूर उठाएंगे और अपनी गाइडेंस और अपना जो आशीर्वाद है वो हमें दे देंगे. बोलना बहुत कुछ है. I have too many things. I can write books on this journey of 5.5 years, but most of the people have said what I need not to repeat that. But these were few of the things as these kids were asking that how do you remain cool? Another word that this Kashmir is already cool. Temperature. Thank you.